This is my father's land. I'm not going to try to people. Come on, show yourself. Show yourself. Show yourself.
So on a clearer note, the Biafran Liberation Forces heard the voice of the people and came out for vengeance, because yesterday we saw the zoo terrorists parading Biafra land, and the Biafra Liberation Forces who are in the bush, that told them that the civilians were shouting, this is not the bush. The ESN, the Biafran Liberation, and every other forces that wants to defend Biafran land are in the bushes. Civilians. What is your business with civilians? What are you doing with civilians? A very simple question. And these people came out for vengeance, and of course, the response have begun. The response has already begun. And whatever they want to do, this is one of the biggest and massive territorials that should be stated. Yes. You see, again, I will say that anybody who wants to, in one way or the other, put a big message to what it is, must understand one important fact. Yes. That Simon Ekpa is not here to play. Simon Ekpa is not here to play. He has come to deliver Biafrans to that final point. And that's just the main important thing. If we sit back and watch people destroy Biafra, watch people make a mess of Biafra, then honestly speaking, whether we like it or not, we won't have a place to call home. We'll never have a place to call home. And that will be the most dangerous part of it. So, this very victory that we all share, that we all do, that we must continue to preach, is becoming a divine force. And when it is like this, more and more and more and more wisdom will be made. Biafran Liberation Forces are not joking. They weren't created to start a war. They weren't created to destroy anybody. They were created to defend the Biafran soil. And by so doing, anybody who wants to come against Biafrans or destroy Biafrans must reconsider. They must reconsider. And that is just the biggest truth. So, as we continue to push through this positivity, let us again see through the light and understand what really matters. That we are Biafrans and we are not cowards. This is victory. Victory at last. Victory must come. And victory must be restored. Heavily armed Russian soldiers, Russian forces protect Simon Ekpa as he enters the Excellency office. Hear the news in details. Hey, aya gabago ka saga. Aya mewego keseme. Aya na afata zukwa ka isa afata. One of the most interesting thing here is that we are the Biafran people, and a lot will be restored at any given point, and that is where the whole journey will begin. We cannot put ourselves downwards, and no matter what it is, we must continue to communicate with the best order and put ourselves in that very circle where we have already had ourselves. And that's just the biggest truth. You see, Biafra has become something more openly criticized, and no matter what it is, there is victory at the end of the tunnel. The reason why they are protecting Simon Ekpa like this is that they know they're about to enter a big contract that is going to benefit both Biafra and the Russian department. You all don't know who Simon Ekpa is. You all don't know who Simon Ekpa is. That man is a very big and excellent possibilities. Yes. He's filled with whatever he's saying, he's doing it. This is not cock and bull story. Whatever he's saying, he's doing it with full force. And that is what is more interesting about him. Heavily armed. All those people that want to kidnap him should come. All those people that want to make a mess of him should come. And let's check something.
This innocent civilian's house, like Zivia unknown government is living.
So
the Zivia ESN is living. Zivia Biafra Liberation Army. Biafra Liberation Army is in the bush. Enter the bush and fight. Instead, they came and started burning people's house.
Will be done in accordance. And when it is done like that, you'll begin to see the possible light of how we preach, of how we do our things, and the ways we preserve ourselves. That is the biggest truth. So it is becoming more enlightened, more feasible, more open, and more interesting. That's where the whole situation room begins. Where people with greater knowledge, where people that understands that there are ways facts must work to preserve us. If not, failures may be registered. And if failures is registered for too long, then the fact that we are fighting for Biafra will become something else. In fact, it will no longer make sense to us and anybody. And that's how it rolls. It will no longer make sense to us and to anybody. So we must continue to counter some defectiveness that most of us have not done for a very long time. And by so doing, things will begin to flow the way it should, from the beginning to the end. So let's appreciate Simon Ekpa for doing the job for all of us. No hate, no lies, no configuration.